What's going on, guys? I'm Michael Muto.
And I'm Jules Melly.
And welcome back to the Dark Horse MMA Podcast, Episode 6. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe for weekly MMA content, analysis, and predictions. So, we had some fights over the weekend, Derek Lewis and Oleinik. But before we get into all of that shit, what has been going on in your life, Jules?
So, as you guys know, this is my first podcast back. It's been a while. Yeah, this is like 4 to 6 weeks after the last podcast that I did with Michael. So, a couple of things have happened since that.
Yeah.
Then, so
what was it, last Sunday? When did we try to record? Last Sunday?
Last Sunday. We had an epic fail.
Yeah.
I purchased these like really dope mics for the podcast. They have like the styrofoam thing. As you can see, we're sharing a mic for now. We're just trying to figure out the actual mic situation. So I bought these mics with like the stands and like the crank so you can adjust it, and
like
pretty much like Brendan Schaub's podcast. If you're an actual MMA fan, you should know what that is.
Joe Rogan.
And any kind of legit podcast will, like, both people doing the interview will have a mic or whatever. So I was like, yo, you know what, Michael? And I was like, I just want to invest in this. I think it'll be dope for the future, whatever. They get shipped to my house. They come to the house. I set them up.
We're fucking amped.
We're amped. They look so cool. They look awesome. Yes. And then all of a sudden, we were running into some technical difficulties as we're trying to set up the mics. And pretty much we recorded an entire podcast, and the audio ended up being slightly fuzzy. It's pretty much designed for a soundboard for like serious studio, so I think I need to go to Best Buy and get my shit figured out first, and then after that we'll go back to having individual mics or whatever. But just to improve the quality for you guys, we're gonna start using a mic guaranteed from this point forward. So
fuck yeah, we are. Yeah, that was really annoying because we put a lot of effort into that podcast, and then
and it was good topics.
It was good.
Like, we had good conversation.
We had a follower questions segment because we don't like saying fans because we're not verified on Instagram or
we don't have fans,
YouTube.
We have followers.
Yeah, basically we have like our moms watching that will ask us questions what we want for dinner. But yeah, then the other shit that's been going on is NHL's back. Pittsburgh just got eliminated by Montreal. Fucking 2 thumbs up for me. I love that shit.
Great. I predicted that, so I'm pretty happy. I thought, anything could happen with the way that the format is. And
they suck nuts. Their power play was fucking horrendous. So, and Carey Price is the best goalie in the world. So he said he stole that series. Pittsburgh sucked nuts. So they didn't fucking deserve it.
What are you gonna do, guys?
What are you gonna do?
Anything can happen, especially now with the way that they formatted the playoffs. So, the buds are golfing.
Yep.
I sent Michael a jokes text message of only emojis, and it was like the waving emoji, and then the penguin, and then the sad face, and then the golfing emoji, and then that's how I kind of consoled him. I was like, it's okay, bud.
That was fucking dope.
Don't worry about it.
So that's going on. We just hit a Nike workout.
Yeah, so I got inspired by a couple people in my house, my sisters and stuff like that were using the Nike app during the quarantine, as I was kind of building the gym. And then I was just like going into the gym and doing like weights and stuff still. But then I really got into running recently, so I bought like new shoes, the Nike Joyrides, and started doing like 10 kilometer runs, 15 kilometer runs, like pretty long hauls. So I was like, you know what, let me start a workout plan with the Nike app, and it's a 6-week program. It's super easy. You just follow along with it. You hit the workouts, you download them, and then they give you like an analysis on how your week was, because it's Sunday today. They showed me like my progress and stuff, but Michael jumped in for the workout that we did today. It was the Complete Crush is what it was called. We used some basic equipment, and they do like circuit style training, so you're like repeating the same circuit like 2 or 3 times, and then they change it up on you. And let me tell you guys, that shit is fucking hard.
A lot of body weight shit.
And honestly, man, you know what fucked me up, bro?
I thought fucking lunges.
No, like when I was setting it up, I was like, they're like, oh, how many times a week do you lift and work out or whatever? And I was like, 5 to 6. Like,
twice
I'm
a day?
sick. Yeah, like, I'm like, whatever. I can do
Yeah.
anything pretty much is what I told the fucking app. Like an idiot. So they're assuming that my fitness level is like through this roof.
This must be LeBron.
Yeah, so like literally on week 2 today we were doing like jump tucks where like you have to like explosively jump in the air and like we're like literally wheezing. But no, dude, absolutely awesome. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I always like switching it up, especially with that shit for like, that just reminds me, I feel like I'm training for like a fight or some shit when I'm doing stuff like that instead of like always benching all the time.
Yeah, it's like sport. It's
a
more
nice
like
switch up.
sporty kind of athletic training. And like we were doing like lateral jumps on like landing on one foot, explosive movements and stuff. And Michael made a good point while we were training. He's like, feels like I'm passing someone's guard. So you know, like when you're training only weightlifting and you're doing like back and chest and arms and stuff like that, yes, it's good for strength and stuff like that, but for like I don't really feel like I'm a jiu-jitsu guy anymore, but you know, because we haven't done it in so long, but like training for the sport that you're participating in is like also a good way to get in your exercise as well, which is something that we don't always do. We're always trying to get like D's, they're shredded and stuff like that, so it's a good switch up.
Definitely a good switch up. I am not complaining.
So yeah, guys, if you want to add us on Nike Training, what's it called? Training Center. Yeah. So the NTC app, whatever the C stands for. Julian O'Malley, Giuli, and Michael Muto, add us up, challenge us. We will smash you in a workout.
Boy.
We will smash you in a workout. So
so that was dope. So now just current events that has been going on in the MMA world. McGregor got engaged to his longtime girlfriend, Devlin. And I honestly thought they were never going to get married, to be honest.
Which is crazy because he had 2 kids with her without being married. So
yep.
You know,
I thought for sure
everybody has different perspectives on that, right?
Yeah. I don't know how it is with their like in like Ireland with that shit. I don't know how.
Well, we know the Italian way is you get married first, then you move in with each other. There's no kids, no moving in, no living before getting married. So, you know, to see Conor have a girlfriend for that long and then have kids with her, live with her, go through all the stuff that they went through, his climb in the UFC and all that stuff. She's stuck by his side. Kind of surprised he didn't propose a bit earlier, but, you know. Whatever.
Yeah, no, I love seeing that shit. Even LeBron's the same too. Like he's had the same.
LeBron?
Yeah, like his girlfriend and his his kid. He's had her for so long.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, I know Kobe was like that. Oh, R.I.P. But no, I'm pretty sure it's LeBron. LeBron has had the same fucking ting for a minute.
But they're not married.
I think they're married. Is he not married?
I don't know.
Whatever. I don't fucking know. I just wear basketball jerseys.
It's an MMA podcast. That's why we don't know shit about basketball.
Yeah, no, it's just really cool to see because, like, I remember, like, in the early... If you go on YouTube, you literally can easily find a video of McGregor. I remember Devlin, like, making him an omelet and they're, like, tiny-ass fucking, like, apartment building kind of thing in District 12.
When he was collecting welfare and shit.
When he was collecting welfare, yeah. So it's cool just seeing, you know, just the loyalty and like sticking through like the lowest lows. And then now literally he's about to be a billionaire. You know, they're literally chilling on the yacht and just living life. So that's fucking awesome to see. It actually like put a big smile on my face just seeing shit like that because you know, with everything going on, like when people like have so much success, you often hear them like being unloyal and shit.
Yeah, that's what
I mean. Yeah. That's why I was like really happy to see that.
Super impressed with Conor.
I love seeing that type of shit, that loyalty between, you know, the man and the woman.
Yeah, because a lot of athletes, when they get that big, it gets to their head, and they think, like, oh, I can have any woman in the world, why would I have a wife, and blah, blah, blah. And Conor's actually been super, super loyal. He's got kids, he's at birthday parties, like, you know, everybody sees him as, like, this fucking asshole, and we, because, like, we're both big fans of him, but, like, we can say, yeah, obviously he's had slip-ups and stuff, but his slip-ups aren't as, like, aggressive as, like, John Jones and, like, you know,
you punch an old man in the dome.
And, you know, to be honest, guys, a quick side story. I've punched an old man in the face before in hockey in men's league, and you know
that's a standard.
In the video, like the guy literally doesn't say anything to Conor, but the guy was taunting me, and he was like probably in his 50s, and he's like,
fucking elbow
what are you
him?
gonna do, 10? What are you gonna do? And I literally, guys, I just lost
He
it.
Superman
This is
punched him.
before martial arts, so I would say now I'm a completely different person. I would never punch an old man in the face.
I think
but-
you would like fucking spinning elbow him this time though.
Yeah, exactly.
I think
I would probably now slap him in
Yeah.
a choke of some
Dark.
sort, but. Yeah, no, like sometimes, you gotta punch an old guy, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
But I definitely respect Conor for, putting a ring on it.
Yeah.
So
100%.
congratulations to the newlywed couple.
Fuck yeah, dude. And another thing that happened was flyweight title fight has been announced between Cody Garbrandt, who's usually a bantamweight, and then newly champ Deiveson Figueiredo. So before I ask you who wins, I'll be the stat guy.
All right, stat guy.
Stat guy, here we go. These are Cody's stats. He's 29, 5'7", 65.5-inch reach, and he's 12-3. And then Deiveson is 32. He's 5'5". He's 2 inches shorter. He has a 68-inch reach, and then he's 19-1. So he has a 3-inch or 2.5-inch reach advantage over him. Yeah, who do you think will take that?
I think Figueiredo takes that.
Mm-hmm.
Only reason why I feel like that is I feel like he's a bit more of a full rounded fighter, We like, not that we haven't seen Cody on the ground, but like he choked the fuck out of Benavidez.
Yep.
Right? He choked him out the second time, knocked him out the first time. There was like that little thing where he couldn't see or whatever.
That was bullshit.
That was kind of
He was
bullshit.
getting fucked up anyways.
He was getting fucked up anyways. He probably would have knocked him out anyways. But I'm just saying, I just feel like Cody will only try and do one thing to him, whereas this Figueiredo guy, he's Brazilian. He's got like the ground game. He's got the stand up. Like, I don't know.
He
cried when he got the belt,
Yeah.
and I feel like that his passion might take him a bit further.
And then also the weight cut too.
Yes, so Cody...
Because it's like a TJ Dillashaw dropping down.
Yeah, exactly. So
Mhm.
Cody's not used to fighting at 125. He's normally 135er.
Yep.
And we've seen it lately. Everybody's seen it. Masvidal doing the weight cut and it being such a large amount of weight in such a short amount of period of time. Although Cody isn't time restricted, it's still an extra 10 pounds to cut, guys. Like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think for myself, like when I got as lean as I possibly could, I was like 155. So me going to like almost death was like me at lightweight. If I had to ever like cut to featherweight to like 145,
Yeah, like how
so think
Conor
about
did.
it, like Cody isn't like comfortable at 135, he still cuts to make bantamweight, right? And we've seen his weight cut on YouTube and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I have, for sure. Because that stuff like amazes me, the weight cut with the nutrition and the water loss and all that stuff. So yeah, I don't know, do you think the weight cut will have an effect on Cody?
I think so, and especially because his chin at bantamweight sucks balls. So like he's been slept a couple of times by TJ.
Yeah, before
and
his big
Pedro.
knockout, he was taking a couple of
3 losses in a row. He's about to get cut because usually it's 3 losses in a row. Unless you
And your contract
unless
up for negotiation.
unless you have like a big name. If you get 3 losses in a row, you're like gonna get cut when your contract's over. That's usually how it is. But then Cody, fucking
got that big dub.
Yeah, big KO win. Yeah, no, I think Figueiredo will take that. I think he will starch him, to be honest. I think his fucking his stance is so cool. He literally just hunts like when the rematch against Benavidez, that was just a mauling.
Mm-hmm.
He beat the fuck out of him.
Yeah,
It wasn't
yeah,
even
yeah.
close. It was. They were even saying it was like was that like the biggest. Like not upset, like beat down basically in a title fight, and they were like comparing this like Conor Eddie. That fight, it was just one sided, like the most one sided title fight. They were saying that's like definitely up there, if not
Like if it was
the most.
if it finished, which there was no chance, it would
Yeah.
like the points would have been like tilted all the way to.
Yeah,
Figueiredo.
like Cody has probably the fastest hands in the UFC. But I don't know. It just depends. As long as he's he's with a new coach and he's not with Team Alpha Male anymore. So if he comes out the way he did in his last fight and is like more patient and more calculated, that's always gonna play dividends in your fight, right? But if he comes out wild and gets engaged in a brawl, let's say they talk shit before the fight and he gets emotional, like against TJ, where he just wanted to fuck him up really quick. I think he's gonna be in trouble, and especially with Figueiredo's ground game, he has some fucking nasty ground game. And I remember in the first fight, he almost caught Benavidez in an armbar, and he had great defense, so that happened.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I think he's more well rounded, and I think the weight cut's gonna affect Cody, and I think if he touches Cody like how he did against Benavidez, I think Cody's gonna get slept because if he has a glass jaw at bantamweight and he's cutting an extra 10 pounds to go to flyweight, I think he's gonna get fucked up.
He's gonna take his jaw clean off.
And also something that kind of you got to point out is just like it sucks for flyweights like that deserve an actual shot at the belt. Like, to be honest, I don't know any flyweight.
No, I was gonna say who the fuck is fighting at
It's just
flyweight. That's probably why they're giving Cody the fucking
at the end of the
shot.
day, it's like in reality it sucks, like especially for all the flyweights. And he was even talking whoever, I don't even know who the number one ranked flyweight is or whoever he was talking to.
The new number one contender is Cody, clearly.
He was Figueiredo and him were like exchanging tweets, like kind of, I don't know about talking shit, but they were basically saying like setting up a fight. And then Cody just comes out of nowhere. Like I remember before Cody posted on his story him on the scale, and it was like 145, and he tagged Dana and Sean. It was like, oh, make this fight, like I'm gonna make flyweight and I'm gonna fuck this guy up. So yeah, no, it definitely does suck. And like, the sport, in terms of the sport, like where it's not fair, but at the end of the day, it is a business. And at the end of the day, that's going to be a fucking sick fight. That's going to be a crazy fight.
Yeah, it is going to be
100%. It's going to be sick.
Nobody wants to watch a snooze fest title fight. You need to have the names. Like that's it's huge it's a promotion, right?
Yeah,
like the UFC is a promotional company.
It's an entertainment business, right?
Exactly.
And we talked about this in the last podcast that wasn't put up because we had like all those issues. But the last fight we watched together, or with all the boys, was the Usman and Masvidal fight, and Jules actually fell asleep through the main event. He did have 5 White Claws, guys, so it is a big deal.
Yeah, but my girlfriend made fun of me hard for that. I got absolutely ripped in half.
Fucking 5 White Claws.
I texted her the morning after because I didn't say goodnight or anything. I literally just passed the fuck out.
Yeah.
But I was like, yeah, babe, sorry, I passed out yesterday. Like, I drank a lot. She goes, oh, what did you drink? And I'm like, oh, I had like 5 White Claws. And she's like, you're a pussy. She's like literally making fun of me. I'm like, you're a savage. But anyways, we're not
we don't drink.
We're not living on res in first year anymore. Where I'm drinking like 16 beers in one night. Like it's more of like on
a Sunday. And
shit. I think we shotgunned the first Cotty Springs. Just because we were in front of Helen, because we were just super excited that there was a fight night, and then like I sipped the 4, and then I was just like absolutely like Cade. But it was a snooze fest, so
yeah, it was a Marty Fake Snoozman casual, foot stomp for 5 rounds against the cage, clinch, that bullshit.
Yeah, so hopefully this title fight is a bit more entertaining.
Yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much it. And then another one was just
so we're both picking Figueiredo.
Yeah,
mauling or.
Yeah. I don't know about mauling because Cody...
It could be an upset or it could be a mauling.
Yeah, like I wouldn't be surprised if he just fucks him up too.
Pays him.
Yeah, like, I wouldn't be surprised at all because he has fucking crazy power at flyweight. That guy.
Yeah,
he's unbelievable.
Exactly, he's scary, bro.
Yeah, it's
scary little man.
Fucking nuts.
Yeah.
So then another thing that happened was the Zabit and Yair fight got called off because Yair I think pulled his vagina. I think that's
it was a broken ankle.
Okay. Okay. I thought UFC reported.
The actual thing was not vagina. The injury report did not say pulled vagina.
Yeah. Well, that's what Zabit at least said because he
Zabit tweeted.
Yeah, he called him out. Can you pull it?
Yeah, I pulled it
out. Yeah, so he basically called him out and was just saying because they actually were scheduled to fight beforehand, and Yair pulled out. And the UFC actually cut him because he refused to fight him. So that's something that's crazy. But we were actually both saying that he... you can just go on Dark Horse too, if you can't find it. Right here. This one.
That's the one, right?
Yeah. So Zabit tweeted, "Hey at UFC, stop playing games with me. Give me a title shot. How long should I wait until you do what you promised? Before UFC 249 in April, I waited first for Rodriguez. Oh, maybe this isn't even it. Here it is. This is the one. So he tweeted, "It's funny, I signed bout agreement a few weeks ago. Yair never did. UFC announced officially main event. 2 options. 1, UFC playing games. 2, Yair has no balls." So basically he just called Yair out for being a pussy for not fighting him. Yeah, I don't know. That's disappointing because that would have been a video game fight in fucking Mortal Kombat because those guys are elite of the elite strikers, especially in that division.
That would have been a sick fight.
That would have been a fucking banger of a fight, but that sucks. I think what's his name? Fucking the guy that just fought Dan Ige, Calvin Kattar. Calvin Kattar said he
might step in.
He wants to step in, which is crazy. So that'd be fucking crazy. I think they're gonna make that fight because we're actively looking for a replacement, and if that's a 5-rounder, that's gonna be interesting because Kattar in the 3rd round of their first fight was beating the shit out of Zabit.
They fought already?
Yeah, they fought.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Zabit won the first one. And it was originally supposed to be a 5-rounder, but then it got switched to a 3-rounder. But yeah, so if this is a 5-rounder, and especially if Kattar's been training and staying in shape because he just fought not too long ago against Dan Ige.
Yeah, I think he likes to stay ready, no?
Yeah, and he's a fucking... I thought he should have fought... I thought he should fight Max Holloway next. Cause
that would be sick.
If
Kattar beats Zabit, then
that's huge.
Yeah, I think
he should get the title fight.
Then he should get a title fight?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, because of the way everything's turning out. Oh, if he beats Zabit... Well, it depends if Holloway and fucking Alex fight a trilogy, so that would change shit up. But whatever, at the end of the day, it is what it is. But yeah, that's pretty much everything that's going on with those guys. So we'll get into the fight night. Derek Lewis and Alexei Oleinik. The first fight was Beneil Dariush, who's 19-4-1. He's number 14 ranked lightweight against Scott Holtzman, who's 14-4. Beneil actually missed weight by 2 pounds and he lost 20% of his purse.
That sucks.
And then something about Dariush is that he had that crazy KO against what's his name? Drakkar Klose, which gave the crazy meme between Joe Rogan, John Anik, and DC, where DC's on fucking Joe Rogan's lap, just crazy out, crazy reaction. So that was pretty funny. But Dariush is on a 5-fight win streak right now. He got poked in the eye a couple times in this one.
Dark horse?
Yeah.
At lightweight?
What? This is lightweight, yeah.
Yeah, lightweight.
Yeah, so it was kind of back and forth or whatever. It was slow in the beginning of the first round, but then Dariush landed this crazy knee in the clinch, and then he landed another crazy in another clinch, and after that it was all Dariush. He just was fucking him up, but then he actually landed a spinning forearm KO.
Dropped him, yeah.
And something about that,
if he clapped him with the fist, bro.
Yeah, dude, that was a forearm KO. It was crazy. Yeah, it was nuts. And something that was funny that I saw while taking notes, rewatching it, is his friend's son, whose name's Billy. By the way, it's an inside joke between us. His friend's son actually told him to try knocking Holtzman out with a spinning back fist because he was playing the UFC 3 game, and he said that he throws it really well in the game, and he's like, yo, just try it a couple of times, then if it doesn't work, just abandon ship. And he literally tried it and knocked him out with it, so that's so funny.
Yeah, and it was sick. They replayed it without, with the sound.
Yeah.
Guys, no fans.
Nuts.
I think they should never bring fans
in
the
UFC.
It was nuts. Other
crazy.
Sports are different. I feel like in hockey, when there's goals and stuff, obviously, you're missing the fan thing, but when somebody rips a spinning back fist and you hear that shit slap the guy's chin, it's like, pooh! Yeah,
shit echoes.
Pretty dope.
Ben should just put better mics in the fucking octagon if that would make a difference when fans return. Because hearing the shots are.
I think diehard fans are gonna miss that if it's not as good quality as it is right now.
I mean, I miss it, but just rewatching fights back with fucking fans it's so sick.
And with other fighters in the crowd too, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Right? It
is cool.
Different.
The only thing that's shitty is when the fights go to the ground and then the crowd boos, and it's and it can be the fucking what's the camo short guy? Ryan Hall? Not Ryan Hall. whatever his name is, but it could be a crazy jiu-jitsu guy on the ground, like doing crazy sweeps and stuff, and they'll boo. So like that aspect sucks balls when there's actual fans.
Or like in heavyweight fights when they clinch up and then
just in general, just like a lot of like casual people will go just because it's a sick event to look at to sick sport to see live. But yeah, so that was the first time Holtzman was finished, so it was a pretty fucking big achievement for Dariush. And Dariush is, take this in, he earned his BJJ black belt in 5 years, and usually it's like a 10-year thing. That's pretty fucking crazy. So it's crazy that guy's actually known to be a grappler, and then he fucking spinning back fist KO'd this guy who's never been finished. Yeah, he's a great striker, so now it's like kind of, can't really think about this guy. It's just predominantly a grappler, but no, he's pretty sick. And even in the post-fight interview with Felger, he even said that he was so embarrassed about missing weight, and that if that was going to win knockout of the night, they should give his that, because if you miss weight, you're not eligible to win bonuses.
Oh, okay.
So he said if that was like worthy of the knockout of the night, which definitely it should have been, then the UFC should give Holtzman the $50K.
That's dope.
Which is pretty nice.
Good man.
So the next fight was a Marty Fake Snoozman. The fight between, I don't even know how to fucking pronounce their names, Yana Kunitskaya, who's number 8 ranked bantamweight. She's 13-5, and then Julja Stolarenko, who's 9-5-1. 8 wins by armbar. She's a nasty armbar game.
Yeah.
And the thing about Yana, she actually lost to her taking her UFC debut was against Chris Cyborg, like fucking juiced up Chris Cyborg.
Oh yeah. I've seen that press conference.
And that was for the featherweight belt. So basically, she was a sacrificial lamb for the UFC. And like we'll pay you the paper
fight.
Yeah, we'll pay you a couple of pay-per-view bucks, and then just get smashed.
Your head kicked in. That's
nice. Then Julja was on season 20 of the Ultimate Fighter. So this fight was basically just a lot in the clinch. Yana pressed her up against the cage and it was just ripping knees and elbows and all that fun stuff. And then Julja actually tried to pull guard a couple times, but she wasn't able to because she was just pressed up against the cage. So she was kind of just like in the air wrapped up against Yana. So, but Yana, taking her boyfriend is Thiago Santos, who's literally the fucking, number 2 light heavyweight in the world, and he was in her corner, giving her advice.
Fighting couples, that's
fucking nuts, dude.
Pretty scary.
Yeah. And then Julja almost had an armbar at the end of the second round, but for the majority, it was basically just Yana just smashing her against the cage. I think she even added in a couple Marty Fake Snoozman foot stomps just to pay tribute to him. It's just a pretty boring fight,
What are you gonna do?
And something that I noticed, she didn't get interviewed after the fight, which I thought was interesting. I don't know.
Was it on the main card?
Yeah, she didn't get interviewed. I thought that was so weird. I don't know if something's up with my Fight Pass where it like skipped her interview or some shit, or I don't know. I just kind of thought that was interesting. But yeah, Yana won by unanimous decision.
Do these girls speak English?
Nah, she's from Russia. I don't think she speaks very well.
Probably why she didn't.
But I think she can get away with like a Paul Felder interview though. That's what I was surprised. I don't know. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but whatever.
They don't speak English.
So the next fight was Maki Pitolo, and I had to write down his nickname because I thought you would love it. His nickname's Coconut Bombs. That's his like fighter nickname.
Coconut Bombs.
Coconut Bombs. It's fucking hilarious. He's 13-5. He's from Hawaii, obviously. And he faced Darren Stewart, who's 11-5-1. 11-5 with 1 no contest.
Stewart.
Yeah, that's something I was gonna write down. If you watch, what's it called?
Letterkenny.
Canadian TV show.
All the boys used to call me Stewart because I used to listen to EDM.
Yeah.
Still somewhat listen.
Because there's like an EDM character in that show. Basically.
Yeah, and his name is Stewart.
Yeah, I fucking hate that show. By the way, that show made me cringe so much. I would lose brain cells listening to it. Anyways, the Coconut Bombs guy, Pitolo, he won a UFC contract. He's a Dana White Contender Series guy. Yeah. And that even came back last week on Tuesday, which is pretty cool. It's good to see that.
Fights during the week now.
Yeah,
that's
so
absolutely awesome.
This was the guy, Darren Stewart. His nickname's the Dentist, I believe.
Oh, that's a scary fucking.
Yeah,
nickname.
the Dentist.
Jesus.
he was the guy that won it by the guillotine. Remember that modified guillotine?
Yeah.
So he slapped him up. It was nothing really happened. You know, they exchanged a couple. I know Pitolo kind of like wobbled him a little bit, but at the end he shot for a takedown, and then Stewart wrapped in. I'm gonna laugh every time I say Stewart now. He slapped in a guillotine, a high elbow guillotine, and then he had to modify it to secure it. He didn't get full guard or anything, so he was kind of past his guard. Or no, it was kind of like a half guard. I think they were in half guard, and he just modified it and just fucking put the pressure and then got the tap. So, and then this was the guy who dedicated his fight to his teammate that was fucking crazy. Was stabbed to death by his brother on his birthday. That was that guy, that fight. Yeah. Which is pretty fucked up.
Dope. Down to earth guy. Fighting for his boy.
Yeah, no, that was a great fight. So that guy's a motherfucker in that division.
Yeah. The way that he secured the guillotine.
Yeah, I was sick. I want to try that so badly now.
Had
a modified one. I've never tried that.
So before. He had it like a regular one, and then he went to the crank, and then from the crank he put it in between his bicep and his elbow, and like just like ripped it. And I've never seen that kind of adjustment on that choke. So when I saw that, I was like, what the fucking Dart's guillotine slap is that, bro?
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up.
It was sick. It was
sick.
And you can tell when it's tight, like when their neck, like you can see the C7, you know, the ball of the spine, right? When their
I don't know what it's called, but yeah, sure.
Right, and the neck is down, and you can see that it's cranked. With like some bald guys, usually they'll like slip out of it. But this guy, you could just tell like he was stuck in there, and then he just tightened it, and then
it was just GG.
Catch you later,
good
mate.
Game. Yeah. Then whatever. That was a good win. It was funny, even the post-fight interview, because he won by submission, didn't really take any damage. He was like, "Oh, I'm still looking like a snack." He was like playing like the kind of light skin stereotype kind of thing. It was pretty funny. And then something I thought that was kind of weird was right after that fight, instead of going to the co-main, they interviewed Daniel Cormier. Felder interviewed Daniel Cormier over like Zoom or
Skype, yeah.
Well, I thought that was kind of weird because, like, where's Sleepy? Like, why aren't they interviewing both of them and like having them both talk shit to each other and like hype it up over Zoom? You know what I mean? Like, why would it kind of just like seems like UFC
they're just taking Daniel's side.
They're like just sucking his nuts, like wanting him to win. Obviously, I want him to win too. Everyone wants him to win, pretty much. Sorry to say it if you root for Stevie, but pretty much everyone's rooting for DC because he's such a lovable guy.
Yeah, and he's like boys with all the commentators, of course, and everybody in the company. So
yeah, I thought it was.
I don't think that they're not giving Stipe a voice, but at the same time, they're definitely dick riding DC.
Yeah, I thought it was a little weird how they just interviewed him alone, not like, and he was just talking down about Stipe the whole time. I'm like, I'd be kind of like annoyed.
Yeah,
to be honest, because he's like
he's like
I beat him up
back in the majority. Back in the day, they would have done like a split screen.
Yeah, like do you remember Cody and Cruz that? Like they weren't side by side.
Even Jones and DC.
Yeah,
like, those were crazy.
So that would have been perfect. I don't know why they didn't do that, but whatever.
But also at the same time, I feel like DC and Stipe are the kind of guys where like. They don't like it won't be a DC Jones rivalry, you know what I mean? Like,
but they
have a bit more respect for each other than
did, but now they're like kind of talking shit, like Stipe saying like, "Oh, that was a fucking fluke the first fight," and then Daniel Cormier is like, "I smashed him for majority of 25 minutes."
Yeah, of all the rounds.
You know what I mean? That's a yawn. That's a 10 push-ups. I yawned in the gym too, so we'll cancel that out.
That's true. Yeah, you yawned.
I'm
earlier.
honest. We're honest.
Yeah,
we're both honest.
Okay, I read it.
Yeah. By the way, if anyone doesn't know, if you yawn, because Jules is kind of famous for yawning in the podcast, like I am for yawning while we work out. Mm-hmm. And if you do that, if either of us do that, it's 10 push-ups.
Yeah, so. Just a shout out to Bradley Martin. That's what I got it from Brad. Anyone that he trains in his gym, if you yawn during the workout with him, he makes you do 10 push-ups.
I like that.
You can either do them right away or you can wait until the end and do them. So I'm pretty strict with that. If Michael yawns, I actually make him do push-ups. So
yeah, no,
today,
it is what it is.
The Nike thing fucked us up. So
I
let him off.
We were kind of crying.
Yeah, and then now you don't have to do 10, bro.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, makes
sense,
buddy. Yeah, no
appreciate it. Appreciate it, coach.
No problem, bud.
So then the co-main was Chris Weidman, former champ, former Anderson Silva goat slayer against Omari Akhmadov. How the fuck? Akhmedov.
He's from Dagestan.
Yeah, fucking no beard or no mustache beard, Dagestan.
Bald
you know?
head.
I thought I was saying to Jules while we were watching, and I'm like taking that literally in probably 5-10 years, all of the champions are gonna be from Dagestan with that fucking no mustache Wolverine. His nickname's the Wolverine too. I love that. I'm like that's fucking awesome. So I'm just gonna say his first name. Omari is. I don't know, but I'll just repeat myself in case. He's 24-1. He's the number 11th ranked middleweight, and Chris Weidman is 14-5.
Unranked.
Yeah, not ranked. Omari won 6 in a row going into this fight. He was a big prospect, not really prospect, but he was I don't want to say dark horse. People were had him on the watch list basically for that division, I'd say, because first of all, if he has that beard, people are gonna keep an eye on him. And probably not want to fight him.
He just looks the part.
At
that point.
He fucking looks the part.
He looks like Khabib. So.
Yeah, he looks like Khabib. If you look like Khabib, I'm scared of you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's fuck, dude. So yeah, this fight was just a lot of wrestling. Chris Weidman it wasn't setting up the takedowns, kind of just desperately shooting. Just shooting, not the best. He even said afterwards that everyone should be on watch, but he's like, everyone should be on watch, even though that was a shitty performance. He acknowledged that he didn't have the best performance.
He didn't do what he wanted.
No, he didn't do what he wanted. Chris Weidman just, took him down, kind of grinded out the first round. It's probably 10-9. And then Omari
kind of came back,
did kind of the same thing to him. So it was tied going into the third. And then in the third, Chris Weidman, same bullshit, couple jabs, and then he shot in, and then he actually ended up in full mount, and it kept going for the arm triangle choke because he loves doing that. He got Calvin Gastelum with it too, which was a big dub for him back then. But yeah, no, he was just trying to fight for that for so long. Omari had good defense. I actually learned a new defense for that choke, which Omari was basically pushing Chris Weidman, or he was sliding lower in his mount. So basically, Chris Weidman had kind of a higher mount, so it was kind of the pressure was kind of on the top of his head instead of on the neck, which I thought was interesting. I'm I never thought about that. So it's cool watching the fights and learning some shit.
Plus they're sweatier, right? When it's not fresh. Sometimes it's
absolutely
harder to do chokes and stuff like that when they've already kind of broken the sweat and they're leaking everywhere.
Yeah, and Aljo was in Chris's corner, which
that was cool. Dope. Yep.
He liked Dark Horse MMA post. Not gonna lie, whatever. Humble brag.
Not a big deal.
Not a big deal. Shut up, Paul Bissonnette. And then Chris Weidman tried to get the banana split on him.
Oh yeah, but he was
banana split in the third, and
decently flexible.
Omari was just not phased at all.
Yeah, you probably would have let him rip his leg off.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Before chopping up.
Yeah, he was literally just straight chilling in that fight.
We've learned. By the way, I've learned that at Combat Arts.
Oh, I have not learned that. No,
yeah,
if I did that to someone, I'd never roll.
Guys, I'm telling you, the fucking pain in your hamstring when. So the reason why it wasn't tight, and I noticed this because the guy's leg was still slightly bent, right? And you're supposed to go up higher on whatever side you have on your upper body, because his legs had one leg, and then the upper body has the other leg.
Yeah.
So because his knee was bent, there wasn't much strain. Yeah, strain on the hamstring. But the way that we learned it, Amir was you need to grab his ankle. The ankle needs to be the point.
Fucking Amir taught this.
Yeah.
I'm surprised a brown belt didn't teach you that or something.
No, bro, and it was literally yeah, once you secure the first leg with your legs, then the way to finish it is the point of contact has to be the ankle with your forearm. So when you bridge, the inside of the groin is just stretching on that leg, bro. It's not even both legs. It's just that one leg that's on the upper body, and the bridge, and you're just catch your hamstring later. You're trying to. At that point, you're trying to literally snap the guy's hamstring behind his leg.
Yeah.
It's a pretty fucking scary submission, but Buddy got out of it. He was all good to go.
Yeah, he was just chilling, and then I think it kind of just ended up in
a bear has probably put him in Dagestan or something. So
realistically, yeah, he's fuck off. And then our boy Marvin Vittori actually called out Chris Weidman. He was basically after the fight, he tweeted at him. I don't know exactly what he said, but basically just saying this guy's a fucking he sucks balls and I'll starch him. And then he was like, yeah, he's called ripping this guy apart.
The reason why he said our boys because he's Italian.
Yeah,
Marvin,
we're both. Oh, I'm half Italian.
Yeah.
He's full Italian,
so Marvin Vittori's like the only Italian.
I think his nickname's the Italian Dream. Too.
Yeah, it's the only Italian guy in the UFC. So we got to show him some
rep.
love, you know.
Gotta rep. So that was pretty cool. And then the main event, Derek Lewis, number 4 ranked heavyweight, 23-7 with 1 no contest, and Alexei Oleinik, who he's 43 years old. He's number 10th. Ranked fighter. He has a fucking record of 59-13-1, which is nuts for MMA.
60.
He's fought in 4 decades, like Alistair Overeem, the 90s, the 2000s, and 2010s.
That's whack.
And then 2020s now, which is fucking crazy.
Jesus.
Lewis had a 38-pound advantage over Alexei, and that was him cutting weight too. Like.
Yeah, Derek is one of those guys where he has to cut to make 265
to make the maximum weight, which is fucking crazy. And that was him. He still had like cut a good amount of weight too, which is it's just nuts. So yeah, I thought Alexei would kind of win if the fight dragged on. I kind of saw this going 2 ways. Either Derek was just gonna smash him, or Alexei was kind of going to drag the fight out, kind of make it a Marty Fake Snoozeman fight.
To the ground, get
just
a sub.
Because he's good. He doesn't really shoot for takedowns. He likes to trip guys from the clinch. So I kind of thought that was going to go on. And that kind of did happen in the first round. Alexei had him in a scarf hold, which is kind of like a neck crank from side control. And Derek Lewis even acknowledged that it kind of like sucked ass, like that submission from... I think he had a hard time breathing.
Face to face.
Yeah, Derek Lewis is a big boy too, right? So, and he said he was gonna come out balls blazing or some shit like that, and he literally like came out swinging right away, which you should do against Alexei too.
Mm-hmm.
And Alexei, he has like that funny tradition or routine in between rounds where he puts his feet up on the cage for blood flow, and apparently. What was it? It's good for lowering your heart rate than sitting down.
Yeah, and it also flushes lactic acid as well.
See, I didn't know that. And another thing about that knockout was it was exactly like the Walt Harris KO of Alexei Oleinik. Except Walt Harris starched him in like 12 seconds or 14 seconds, something like that, really quick. He led off with the same. It was the same thing, same setup, flying knee to a right hand, and just fucking dropped him. And
flurry.
then
Gave him the flurry.
Yeah. Right at the beginning of the second round, he did the flying knee, and then caught him with the right hand, dropped him. The flying knee hit him in the chest too, so it was more of a setup. And then he just fucking finished him off with his ground and pound, because Derek Lewis has some of the nastiest ground and pound in the UFC.
He's a big boy.
Unbelievable ground and pound. So much power. So yeah, that was that fight. It was a huge win for Derek Lewis. I don't know what he's gonna have next. I don't really see him winning a belt, to be completely honest, with his ground game. If he faces the Curtis Blades of the world, he's gonna get smashed unless it's like a Francis Ngannou
where
he
rankings
catches
right
him.
Now are Derek Lewis is 4th and Curtis Blades is 3rd.
Oh, so that could be a fight.
That could be the next fight. Nice
Sean
test
Shelby,
for Derek.
hit us up for a job, bro.
Yeah, we're fucking making matches. I think that would be a good test. Same thing with Sugar Sean. They're trying to put him up against a wrestler, so...
They're saying Sugar Sean against Derek Lewis.
That'd be fucked. But imagine.
Sugar Sean by first round.
So basically what ends up happening as you're climbing the rankings is if you have only a certain style or whatever, like you get matched by other people that are complete, that are in the top 3 or whatever, that are like full-blown martial artists that don't just punch or don't just box or whatever. They got the ground game, they got the stand-up is on point, everything's on point. So like you said, I think it would be a good test to go up against someone like Curtis Blades. He also had a dope fight night in the Apex as well.
Yeah, he just smashed Alexander Volkov. It was pretty boring, but
it was pretty boring, but
he did what he had to do.
That would be a sick fight. Couple big boys going at it, and
they were saying like I put it out on Twitter, and people were like, "Oh, the Francis Ngannou," or someone commented on one of the pictures. And I don't know.
I think that'd be perfect. I think whoever...
They already fought once. It was then.
I think Ngannou...
It was the most boring fight ever in UFC history.
I think Ngannou will fight...
He should fight the winner of
Stipe and DC.
Unless it's...
DC.
If it's DC, then he retires. Then it's gonna be
Stipe and Francis for a vacant heavyweight belt.
Yeah.
But which would be kind of shitty for Stipe because he's gonna get a title shot again, even if he loses.
I don't even know if they do that actually, because Stipe already smashed Francis. So I'd probably do like a fucking. I don't even know actually. I don't know.
Maybe Stipe versus the winner of Derek Lewis and Curtis Blades. Curtis Blades really wants a title shot. I know that. He was like, oh.
It's because he's gotten starched by Francis twice. That's what's stopping him from getting that shot. Because if he beat Francis the second time, he would have easily gotten the shot. So I don't know.
Lots going on in the heavyweight division, guys.
Yeah,
I think
we have that up and comer Canadian, the Bowser guy.
It'll be sick. It'll be sick next couple months for the heavyweight division because there's gonna be another title fight right after the DC one if DC wins, because then there'll be a vacant title and it'll be the same as the flyweight division where they got to pick the top two contenders. Same thing with Petroyan and Aldo. It wasn't necessarily based off of numbers clearly because Aldo got the shot.
Yeah.
So who knows who's gonna be fighting for the heavyweight belt and who's gonna be the heavyweight champ after next weekend, August 15th, Stipe versus DC3, the trilogy. You heard it here on Dark Horse MMA. We will be covering that event. Guaranteed.
Fucking right. Yeah, it's a big... Sean O'Malley's on that card too. That's
Sean O'Malley, the co-main event. Are they boosting him too fast?
I don't think so.
No? He deserves a co-main already?
He hasn't even fought someone that's ranked yet, so...
But you think he deserves to be on the co-main of such a big event like that?
Fucking 1,000%, dude. He's huge on, we watch his YouTube, and he's huge on social media, and he has the skill set. He's been starching fucking,
everyone.
Guys, literally everyone.
A couple tomato cans, but
yeah. So definitely can see, it's good for having him in the co-main against fucking whoever he's facing. But yeah, no, it's gonna be dope. And then it's funny in the Derek Lewis, of course, notorious for his post-fight interviews. My balls were hot, kind of shit.
My balls was hot.
Yeah, literally, it was funny right before. When Paul started talking to him, he didn't realize he was live, and then he was just like, I gotta take a shit. And he literally said that live. It was so funny. Then Paul just started fucking dying, so that was really jokes to see. Yeah, he said he doesn't want to take any more fights until he loses 15 to 20 more pounds. So he likes beating that. He wants to be even more lighter. So he's thinking in September, and that was his third win in a row, so big dub. Big shit for the Black Beast.
If he got nice and cut, that'd be sick.
Yeah, imagine. If you guys enjoyed the video, always make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on the post notifications to always stay updated with the latest UFC news.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Dark Horse MMA Podcast, episode number 6. I'm Jules Malley.
I'm Michael Muto.
Thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.